season, and we've got a good one in store between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. Two teams here playing for pride as the final week of the NFL season is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Bortles now on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll try to run for it. They've yelled it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers point their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 20. A shotgun snap for Watson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Now Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third to see Watts, the young Watts. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, Tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Griffin. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. Back to throw, Watson. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Again, it's Watson. This is caught. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Bruce Ellington with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground. It's T.J. Yeldon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. This is Yeldon on the dump off. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the play.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking 1st down.
A 1st down carry now for Yeldon. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Mike 39, Lucy. Green 80. Green 80.
Bortles gives to Yeldon on the draw. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Yeldon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And now we'll get a timeout. Looks like we've got a Jaguar in some discomfort down there on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now out comes Houston. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. From the gun, here's Watson. And this is going to be incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punter, Ryan, to send this one away. This is taken at the 23. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Then on the ground they go with the running back. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Bortles now on 1st down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And that is incomplete. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big, and we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They go play action here on first down. Caught here by Griffin. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A gain of 39 that time.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Here's Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. To the air yet again. Watson. Flushed out right. He made... And he's in. It's a Houston Texans touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Gonzalez now to add the extra point. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3. Let's get that 0 off the board. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. will begin in Orchard Park, an AFC East matchup between Miami and Buffalo. And that's been a back-and-forth game, all tied in the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And he gets it to the 30-yard line, but the football's not going to stay there. There's a penalty marker down.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty costs some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on second is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Miles Jack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They fake the handoff. Now Bortles. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Bernardrick McKinney in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's got the hook up to Lee. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And now out comes Houston. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson out to his left. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's third down.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looks like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Evades the tackler and now some space. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game.
Back now in Houston, It's Jaguar football, but a little work to do for them. They trail here as we start the fourth. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Bortles. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
380.
Now Bortles, got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A.J. Boye with a pick. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
380.
From midfield, here's Bortles. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cole. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Bernardrick McKinney in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out.
Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Eric Reed. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now it's Miller, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
On the crossing route, complete. It's Fuller. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A good pickup there, a 22. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. To throw is Watson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Watson looks to throw again. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, It cost them. We could have a great finish.
Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Now it's Ellington to return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Dancing to his left. And some room to maneuver.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth.
Automatic first down.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep.
Black, no, feel it.
After the penalty, it's Miller. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Throwing now, Watson. Hauled in by Anderson, left side. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Watson now to throw. Buying time to it, but he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Watson. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep. Back. This is caught inside the 15. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Now Watson. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, they've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
380.
To throw is Bortles. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game.
380.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And Watson's going to throw it here. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Oh, wait, hold everything. And timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these 2 teams meet. But until then, this game's over. And a little pride throughout the organization here because they said going into the regular season, 8 wins was the benchmark. They can check that box off the list.
And let's face it, many teams are going to say, well, 8 wins, how much is that? That's a big number for this team, and that was a great goal. And to reach it, that's just going to give them confidence moving forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.